But talk to me about the hand. How's the hand?
The hand's good now. A lot of people weren't probably sure what happened. I cracked my metacarpal bone here, and I tore the tendon on the inside of my hand. So I got my surgery, everything like that went great. Just on the road to recovery. I start rehab now tomorrow. Everything's starting to come back. It's starting to feel strong and everything again. So it's just still training every day, keeping in shape, and we're ready to go back to work now once the rehab kicks in.
Do you guys push each other, man, in the gym? Because you guys are, both from the same country.
Well, for me, when I first heard when Michael was coming out, I was excited because, we grew up on the national team together, and there's always friendly competition. You know what I mean? We always want to better ourselves, and I think that's what's so good about us. We can take the hand out of we can joke with each other, you didn't win this, I won this, this kind of stuff. But that's too, me, I want Michael to go out and be the best he can, win whatever he can. But at the end of the day, I want to go out and do the best I can and win as much as I can, and that's where the two of us drive each other on. The two of us want to be the best, and if the two of us can drive together and be the best together, well, it's a win-win.
We have a question from
Anthony Saldana. He's asking Quigley, did you rewatch the fight on ESPN, and what did you think about Teddy Atlas criticizing talking shit?
Who's Teddy Atlas? No, well, look, this is a true story. Put out that fire,
put it down.
For me, I went and I seen Teddy. Look, to be honest, I haven't watched the fight back with volume. I haven't listened to what Teddy Atlas had to say yet. So I've been hearing a lot of talk from here, there, and everywhere. So I went up to Teddy in Vegas. I seen him. And I just went up to him, man to man, and I says, Teddy, I don't know if you remember me, but you commentated on my fight a few weeks ago. I says, I've heard a lot of back feed on everything like that. And I says, I don't want to hear through the grapevine. I want to hear from you now. I says, give me your honest opinion on how everything went. Look, Teddy has trained great fighters. He's great experience. He's a smart man, but there's one thing that I can't understand is he kept talking to me and he gave me lots of advice, and was really helpful. But at the end of the day, he kept saying, putting injury aside, putting the broken hand aside, the fight would have went like this. And I said, how can you put a broken hand aside? You're 100% getting in there with two hands. You lose one, and that's 50%. You know what I mean? And look, I had my words with Teddy. We sorted everything out. We had a good chat, and everything's all good between me and Teddy and everything. We had a good chat about it all, and it's all good. But at the end of the day, I just can't understand how he couldn't notice, and how a lot of people couldn't notice.
I noticed it.
But for me coming away from that fight, I was like, I did my job, because my job was to hide that from Tapia, not to the fans.
Do you know
what I mean? I had to hide that from Tapia, not the commentators. I had to hide it from my opponent. It was the second round. I had 8 rounds to go with one hand. I couldn't have let him, know that I had only one hand.
My only problem, like you said, as a trainer, he should know, okay, something isn't right. All of a sudden, Quigley's the best jabber in the world. He has his hand cocked and throwing his jab out there. But to me, I think, in my opinion, I think Teddy is he's his worst. No, he's his worst enemy, because as a trainer, he's a great trainer. But I think as a commentator, he has something in him that says, okay, I got to
Teddy's very passionate.
Yeah.
He's very passionate about what he does, and he gets so emotionally involved in everything.
And he doesn't know how to
you know what I mean?
both.
And I think it just sometimes it comes off. Honestly, when I talk to Teddy, Teddy's very blunt the way he comes across, but it's that's him trying to help you and trying to give you advice. But some people might take it offensive and everything. But Teddy just straight out with it and tries to say it how he thinks it is. And that's the way that I think. But at the end of the day, everybody's going to get criticized no matter what, and we're sitting here talking. That's raising Teddy's profile, ESPN, mine, everything's raising, and it mightn't be positive or negative, but at the end of the day, still raising profiles. People's talking about the fight, people's talking about Teddy, you know, the names are getting out there, and that's what it's all about.
Well, any publicity is good publicity, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's all about keeping boxing.
Not Chavez.
Well, ask Travis's homie.
So have they told you any? You're just gonna go through rehab, taking it day by day, or have they told you anything like this is your dateline?
Look,
yeah.
for me, it's hard not to look too far ahead. You know what I mean? I'm trying to take a day at a time because I'm young, I'm hungry, I want to get to the top. So for me, I just have to take a day at a time. But I was at the Canelo Chavez fight. As soon as that fight was announced, September 16th, a light switch hit in my head, and I was like, boom, let's get back for that. You know what I mean? I want to be back, and I want to be ready to rock and roll. You know, so we're going to see how it goes. Hopefully everything goes well, I heal up and everything goes good. But look, at the end of the day, I'm still 25, I'm young. There's going to be bigger fights down the line as well. So right now it's all about making sure the hand's 100%.
Yeah, another question.
From Michael Conlon. Are you excited about fighting under the Pacquiao undercard?
I was just gonna get to that.
Yeah, I can't wait. Pacquiao has been one of my favorite fighters since I was a boy. So you know, for me to actually be fighting on his undercard, it's a bit surreal.
Yeah, I know.
Speaking of fight, you know who you're fighting already, or they already gave you an idea?
I know
Chicago.
I have two opponents. I have an opponent for Chicago and
Okay,
for
good.
Australia, but I forget their names already. But it doesn't matter who's in front of me. It's just another body, another person who's gonna obviously taste the face.
Right.
Well, you know what? That's the good thing about you already knowing who it is, because you know what, when you're coming up, you really don't know who it is. It might be on fight week. It might be the day of. It might be the day of the weigh-ins. If you already know, that means these guys are essentially. There's no excuses. They have a fighting chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, there's another guy with two hands. But that's one thing I've always liked about Top Rank. They're very good at one, knowing who they're going to fight and matchmaking. That's what they did. I mean, they've built
the best thing.
They've built everybody from Floyd, from Oscar, from Cotto. They made Junior a star. They made Chavez Jr. So let's be honest. I mean, so they know how to develop their fighters.
He has not changed. He's still the same guy that was fighting in the Top Rank.
Hey, but he made about $10 million, so he's all right. So he's fine. Huh?
Sitting toasty.
Who? Oh, that is you know what I'm saying. But that's one of the good things. So I don't know if you guys are down, but we got to talk about these fights, the coming up fights. So maybe throw a little something in, a little curveball that you might know.
Yeah, let's throw the curveballs right now.
All right. So first up, guys, we have Diego De La Hoya versus Reese. This whole card is kind of interesting.
Let's begin.
You all right, bro? You're fucking flinching like Freddie Roach's hands in the background. I gotta turn around.
No, that way.
There we go.
go.
So we got this card. This card is kind of cool because, like, I know you guys did the whole sparring with RGBA. So half their kids, you got Tanahara, you got Joshua Franco. I forgot the other kid's name, but they're all in the undercard. Even
So it's a Robert Garcia.
it's a Robert Garcia Boxing Academy undercard, and even because Eric Reese even trains with Robert Garcia. So this is a fun fight. I think I don't know if you got to spar because I think you got to spar with. So Diego, I don't know if you could tell us a little more about him.
Went okay.
No, we don't want to talk about how it goes. That's one thing we don't talk about. Sparring.
We don't talk
Sparring
about
is
sparring.
work. No videos either.
No videos.
Right? No videos.
Get me in trouble talking this stuff.
No. We're not talking about that. But like, what do you think? What do you think about the fight, Diego versus Eric Reese? Like, since you were in there with him, I mean, can you give us a?
Well, he's one of the Golden Boys' main prospects, kind of. So I think it should be a walking apart for him. I'm not sure of his opponent. You know, I don't know his opponent, so I'm just going on
what
promotion and how they match make these fighters.
That's Quigley's bay. You guys fought in a lot of cards together, right?
Yeah, me and Diego has fought in a few cards together. We it was pretty much mainly the Canelo cards that we've fought on before and everything like that. Usually the big fights were usually on them, you know. But Diego's going well. He's building up a nice record for himself. He's got the youth WBC belt. You know, this is another build-up fight, I think, for him to keep climbing him up the ladder and to get his title shot.
I think, he's improved every fight, you know what I mean? So, I mean, do I think he's gonna beat Eric Reese? He's gonna beat Eric Reese. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a next, next opponent, pretty much, just trying to keep him busy. But
Does he stop
you
him?
said- No, I think he goes decision, man.
I think so too.
Yeah, decision. I got decision on that one.
He's getting sharp, but he just doesn't have that, But
Yeah.
I like Diego. I like Diego in this.
He doesn't have the
Huh?
colon, man. He doesn't stop him like you stop him, man.
Ponle casa.
Hey.
No, but I like
No
Diego.
mames, güey.
No, mames. No, I like Diego on this one. I don't think he stops him, but I think he just displays how good he is of a fighter. He's sharp. He's getting, like you said, he's getting better. I remember when I first saw him. I mean, I was like, oh man, I don't know about this kid. But he's looking much better in each fight. I remember, didn't he fight like 3-4 fights ago? A guy that Leo Santa Cruz that fought too for.
Yeah, he fought him in the Fantasy Springs.
Fantasy Springs,
yeah, I remember
was like,
that.
oh,
Yeah,
oh, nice.
and he won very
That's when
comfortably.
he won the belt, right? That's when
Yeah, he won
yeah.
very comfortably.
Was it one of the? How could you remember what happens
You
at
don't
Velasco?
know, bro.
After your guys, how do you remember what happens at Velasco? All right, so that was the deal. That's actually in Tucson, Arizona. I think it's on Thursday, right? This
On
Thursday?
ESPN.
Do you guys have anybody there? Oh wow! Oh, you guys only do Vegas now. My bad.
They don't do
Apologize.
Vegas.
I
They're too
apologize.
big for him. Nah.
All right, from across the pond, we have Gervonta. What's it,
Tank
Davis?
Davis.
Leon Walsh. What do you guys think? I really like this kid, man.
Liam Walsh is a tough fighter though.
Yeah, tough fighter.
Javonta's a very good fighter, and this will show if he's the real deal, I think. But it's a hard first defense, a very hard first defense.
But big respect too, like
Yeah,
for him
traveling
traveling
to-
to
yeah.
England, to your man's home background, and taking that fight. But I was very impressed with Davis in his last fight and his recent fights. But as Mike says, this is definitely going to test him, and this is going to see how good he really is and how far he can go.
Yeah, this is. I like Davis, but he's with Floyd, right?
He's with Floyd.
No, and I got the other guy.
So you got him one?
No. This he's gonna be a showcase fight for him. He's gonna, in my opinion, he's gonna look good. I think we might get the stoppage, mid fight. Again, this guy Washington. I see him in special, but unfortunately, I think this kid is just a freaking monster, man.
Yeah.
The way I see him,
The name fits. The name fits.
name definitely fits. Who do we got next? We got Gary Russell Jr. versus Not TBA for the first time. He's one of those champions. That you remember I was just telling you about. You don't know this guy. Most of his career, he did not know who he was fighting. So probably Lomachenko. He fought because I remember when everything was okay.
Yeah.
He would fight at Fanning Springs all the time. Yeah, he'll starch his guys, but that was it. They used to bring these TJ kids to fight him. Yeah, he used to whip their ass, but that was it. So, and I think he was a really special kid when he was coming up. That when he fought that fight, like Lomachenko, he didn't know what to do with him.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. And he's fighting. What is he? Oscar Escandon. Who did he lose to? He doesn't have a bad record either. I think he has 2 losses. But still, I expect. Who do you? Oh, I thought you said something. I expect him to
Win comfortably.
win comfortably. If not, maybe
Win by
late stoppage because he knows how to fight your classic Mexican fighter, and honestly, that's what he's fighting. So it should be.
Yeah, but I think as of late, he hasn't been looking that spectacular. I mean, I don't think Gary is.
Very inactive too.
Yeah, very inactive. I think actually, if it's not JoJo, I mean, Oscar should go after that belt. You know what I mean? What do you guys think? I mean, he's a guy that you could go after. One of the, JoJo.
He's not a dead man walking.
I'm not
either,
saying he's a dead man
but
walking, but you think JoJo can't get him a roster for this?
I'd like to see him and Oscar.
Oscar,
There you go.
I think Oscar cleans the division.
Oscar's Bay.
Uh-huh.
Oscar, I would like it versus JoJo first. That way maybe you could entice Oscar.
I seen
He
today.
don't want these hands.
But I seen today is JoJo meant to be fighting? Who do you call the guy that fought at the
Josh
weekend?
Warrington?
Warrington from England, WBC eliminator.
That's a tough fight.
Yeah.
That's a really tough fight.
But there's look. People say these
You
are
know?
like, what is JoJo right now? Like he's
20,
he's
22.
like
No, 24. I think.
When you get to that level in your career, these are the fights
You want to see?
you want.
Yeah.
You know, these are the fights, not that the fans or anything, as a fighter. If you're 20 something and 0, them's the boys you want to be fighting.
Yeah.
You want to get them opportunities. You know, you're not in here to keep a clean record. You're in here to fight the best, to be the best. Doesn't matter who's put in front.